Title: Great leaders don't avoid problems, they solve them at the root. Every organization faces problems every single day. Sometimes they show up the moment people walk into work. Sometimes they appear in the middle of a meeting. Sometimes they build quietly in the background until they become impossible to ignore. Quality issues, equipment failures, material shortages, customer complaints, team conflict, miscommunication. Problems are not exceptions in an organization. They are part of everyday reality. That is why leadership is not just about giving instructions. A real leader is not someone who simply wants everything to go smoothly. A real leader is someone who faces problems directly, stays with them, and solves them in a way that prevents them from coming back. In the end, the future of an organization is shaped not by how few problems it has, but by how it responds when problems appear. Many organizations fail to solve problems, not because their people are incapable, but because they do not have a system for recording, tracking, and solving problems all the way through. A problem gets mentioned once in a meeting, then urgent work pushes it aside. People assume someone else will take care of it, and before long, it disappears from attention. But ignored problems do not really disappear. They stay beneath the surface. And later, they return with greater cost, greater frustration, and greater damage. That is why leaders need a visible way to track problems. When a problem happens, it should be recorded. Someone should own it. A timeline should be set. Progress should be reviewed. Problems should not be left to memory. They should be managed through a system. But even then, not all problems should be handled the same way. Simple problems may need quick action, but recurring problems and structural problems require something deeper. If we only treat what is visible, the problem will return. This is where great leaders ask one of the most important questions in leadership. Why? Why did this happen? Why does it keep happening? Why wasn't it caught earlier? Why was the response delayed? Why does this look like a people problem when it may actually be a system problem? One why may explain the symptom, but several whys can uncover the truth. This is the power of the 5 whys. And this approach is not useful only in business. It also works in everyday life. Imagine a family where a child is late getting ready for school every morning. The parents and child end up arguing again and again. At first, it may seem like a motivation problem. Maybe the child looks lazy or careless. It would be easy to say, you just need to be more responsible. But if we ask why, a different picture begins to appear. Why is the child late every morning? Because too much time is spent looking for school items. Why are the items being searched for in the morning? Because they were not prepared the night before. Why were they not prepared the night before? Because there is no clear evening routine. Why is there no clear evening routine? Because there is no checklist or structure to support preparation. Why is that structure missing? Because the family saw the issue as a personality problem, not a system problem. That changes everything. The real problem was not just the child's behavior. The real problem was the lack of structure. So instead of blaming the child more, the family created a better system. 10 minutes of preparation before bed, a basket by the door for school items, a checklist, and a habit of checking things together. And over time, the morning conflict began to disappear. This is the lesson. Solving problems is not about blaming people. It is about building a structure that prevents the same problem from repeating. The same is true in organizations. Recurring defects, delayed reports, broken collaboration, and repeated customer complaints will never truly end if we only blame individuals. A leader's job is not to hunt for someone to blame. A leader's job is to find the root cause. Of course, when a problem happens, immediate action matters. You must contain the damage quickly. You must stop the spread. You must stabilize the situation. But emergency action is not the same as real resolution. A temporary fix may calm the situation, but only root cause action prevents repetition. And even that is not the end. After action comes verification. Did the change actually work? Did the problem really improve? If not, what needs to be adjusted? That is where PDCA comes in. Plan, do, check, act. Strong organizations are built through this cycle again and again. In the end, leadership is revealed in front of problems. Do you look for someone to blame first? Or do you look for the cause? Do you just want to survive today? Or do you want to prevent the problem from returning tomorrow? That difference shapes culture. And culture shapes performance, trust, and the future. Problems will always exist. That part we cannot change. But we can change how we face them. We can choose to record problems, track them, study them, ask why, solve the root cause, and keep improving. That is what great leaders do. Great leaders do not avoid problems. They do not stop at quick fixes. They stay with the problem long enough to solve it at the root. And leaders who do that shape the future of their organizations. Thank you for watching. If this message spoke to you, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below.